The sun, I think we used it up yesterday. I know I got a lot still on my head here. Sort of hurts this morning. So we'll start with our prayer. And Vernon couldn't be here with us today. I had asked Vernon, or sent a message to Vernon if he could come do the prayer, but when I talked to him this morning, he said he couldn't be here. So I asked Corky, sort of last minute, if he could come do prayer. So I'd like to turn it over to Corky for a quick prayer. Today, our theme for today is Founders Day, and we want to recognize and give respect to the many people who have worked in founding the college and building the college to what it is today. And we are also going to, for all the staff and faculty here, we have certificates that we're going to be giving out to you guys. Not today, but we are giving you guys certificates. They're, I believe, being printed. Rebecca Diller's been working on those. So we do have certificates that we want to recognize our current staff and faculty also for the hard work that they do every day. And with that, we'll have an honor song. And I'd like to give thanks to Cheney and to Charlie for being here this morning. And they're usually always willing to sing when we ask them. And it's always good to have guys like that around here. So we'd like to have an honor song for these guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the nice prayer, and thank you, boys, for the nice songs, and want everybody that set this program up this morning. Today, on Wednesday, we're honoring our founders, our board members, and our tribal council people that were involved when the college was founded, and also some of our first students and some of our first faculty. And so at this time, we do have, before I introduce our next speaker, I'd like to remind you of the timeline. We have a timeline in there. We have significant dates. It's not a joke board, but we want significant dates. Things when something important happens that's significant for the college, put it on a timeline. We have a welcome from the board. Bud Moran is here with us this morning, and Bud serves on our board as a vice chair. I'm very pleased that Bud could take time from his busy work to come over and give us a welcome. So, Bud.
Thanks, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't think there'd be that many people here this morning. It didn't start that way. I thought, yeah, this is going to be great. You know, this, as you all know, this college started as a dream of a lot of people. Dr. McDonald being the main one. And this campus is a fruition of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. Past board members, today's Founders Day, as mentioned. Board members supported a lot of the dreams, offered assistance in a lot of the work that was being done. Joe and his staff people, like some of you people were here years ago. Like Cleo, I think she started teaching when she was about 10. But, she's been one of the first instructors. But there's a lot of you people that's been here for many, many years and in helping Dr. McDonald, Jerry Slater, Mickey, people that have been here dreaming and get a lot of results from staff and the community. You know, it's we here today can thank many, many people, board members, staff people, and it's really a privilege for me to be able to serve on the board of directors for the college and work with all you people. You know, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but recently I had surgery, and I can thank the Lord that I'm here. But and I want to thank the college for their support during my illness. But it's things like this that make us want to continue with our role in life, and give us energy to see the accomplishments that have been made here at the college. You know, I think that Joe has a tremendous staff, and we try to help in every way we can. And I just want to thank all of you people, board members out there, and Dr. McDonald. You know, he's done a tremendous job. Thank you.
When we started, we had a tribal education committee. I was on the tribal council. Gene here was on the education committee, and Flathead Valley got a Title III grant, and we were invited to this meeting, Title III, and people from Blackfeet came, and Gene and I represented our tribe, and out of that meeting grew this college, and then we appointed the first board the council did, and Gene was one of the first board members, so I asked Gene to come over and share some of his thoughts with us. So Gene?
Thank you. My name is Gene Sorrell, and I'm glad to be asked to take and
do a talk here. Remember what it was like, I guess. As memory recalls, it all started for me on one cold and dreary night on a long road trip from Nirada. Division was born. There were 3 men, consisting of Jerry, Bob, and Gene, heading home from many a memorable trip. Talk began of a meeting the 2 had with a wise man known throughout the reservation as an educator who wanted to start a college on the reservation. And this meeting took place. In 1977, I was a Head Start director on the Indian Education Committee, served at JOM and St. Asius in the Dixon schools. The involvement with the Two Eagle River School started in the county committee is why do we need a school to help our children? If we was looking at the local schools, they didn't give our children the needs that they have. They may have been due to differences in the culture, the attitudes from both the teaching staff and the students, but we found the need to give these students an alternative place to learn and receive an education. The next step was Dr. Joe. He wasn't the doctor then. Jerry Slater, the principal at the Two Eagle River School, myself, we sat down at a meeting in Dixon and started to think of how we can do this high school and the students, and why can't we do this for adults also? We found that continue their education and the students that have graduated from this reservation continue on. We found that even students, although they graduated from high school, also had problems in college. Not finishing what they had started, we had a bad social life, competitive attitudes of the white students, and after a while they left, never did quite get their degree or whatever, left with low esteem and so forth. Why can't we start a college here on our own reservation? So we went to a meeting in Helena, started talking to many people to try to get a college started here on our reservation. After a while, we found out that we could do this, and we could become a satellite school from Flathead Valley Community College. So this started our classes that here we are eventually on the campus now of the Salish Kootenai Community College. My areas of concern as a Head Start director was to train my parents, the Indian teachers that I had. Not many of them had teaching degrees, so we went looking for a childhood development certificate, or CDA. This is one of the first steps that I had. It's a privilege to come back to work for the college in summer when I was going to school at the university, taught GED in the old Ronan Elementary School, worked with Dr. Ellsworth LeBeau, a lot of these while I was attending university. We all had a vision of what we wanted. It was Jerry, Joe, myself, and Bob Peregoy. But Jerry and Joe were the driving force behind the school as the nation's premier Indian community college. Here at SKC, I'm proud to be considered as one of the people to be involved with the development of this great college. And as we went through, we first started ended up in Helena and met this Irish guy there that ran around with a tie on his head, you know, and then everything went blank. And so, but I thank you all, and I'm very proud that we come back here and talk to you and to see what the college has become. Thank you.
Right on, Gene.
course, a college wouldn't be a college without students. So we want to hear from one of our first students, and she serves on our board now, and that's Marian Michelle. So I asked Marian if she'd come down and share some of her thoughts as being one of the very first students at SKC.
Joe doesn't realize what trouble he might be getting himself into to share my thoughts as a first student, or not a first student, but one of the first students. All I know is that when I started, we were pretty lacking as far as so I can't even remember anything. What's the word I'm looking? Counseling is, what do you do when you help your students? Advising. There you go. Alice, would you come up and help me, please? We had very little advising. You know, we were just, or speaking for myself, all I wanted to do was get in there and get a few classes here and there, and a degree. What do you mean a degree? I just want some fun classes. And so that's what I did, you know, state game here, but no academic classes, not really. And before I started working for the college, when we worked for the alcoholism program, Sarge had started us on a human service program through Flathead Valley Community College. And so I'd kind of puttered around there, took what I had to take, but, you know, I still wasn't interested in a degree or whatever it is you guys strive for. Let me see, I'm trying to think when I finally did decide, you know, that there is, you know, more to it than just fun classes. Maybe it was when a scholarship became available to Bozeman and Cleo, I, and Gigi. Oh, Betty too? See, I can't even remember what. Anyway, we got these scholarships, so the four of us went to Bozeman, and lo and behold, I began to find out that I should have been more serious about those classes I took. Out of my close to 100 or 100 and some credits, I think maybe they accepted about, maybe 10, 12 credits. And then I decided to change majors right in the middle of my human services, because that's what I went down for, was to try to get my degree in human services. I decided I wanted to go into speech communication, would you believe? So I started all over down there, and then our funding ran out and came back here. And in the meantime, I started working for the college about a year after Cleo did, and I started taking classes here and there. And the big difference, you know, taking classes here is that it's so individualized, and the instructors really work with you individually. Class in point is, I don't know if she's here, Pat, oh there she is, Pat Hurley. I took biology from her, and I would have never made it, you know, if it had been anybody else. She was very patient, very patient, got me through it. And when I went to Bozeman, you don't have that, you know, you're just thrown into a class, those intro classes, 400 or 500 people in there, and it's like, it was really intimidating. So, I guess the only advice I'd give for students now, and you know, what I like seeing now is that we've got so much more young people here. When we were going, it was mostly getting anybody we could, right, Lois? Banging on doors, come on, come take a class, you know. Now it's, you know, really amazing that most of the classes are, you know, full before you can even get people in there. When I left here, I wasn't real happy leaving here. It was kind of like, I always had that big question in my mind, when do you know when you've reached the top? And I never felt I'd ever reached the top. It was kind of like, when I left here, I started down. I kept saying, so I reached the top, now I'm on my way back down. So anyway, until I have to share this with you because this is the highlight of my life now, and this is who I am now. But in January of, this January made a year, so January of 2002, I had a spiritual awakening or reborn Christian, whatever you want to call it. And I credit my guardian angel, my baby sister, for leading me to the Lord. It happened in church in Spokane, and it's changed my whole life, my whole attitude. Everything in life has changed. I know now that my journey is just beginning up. I've never had any fulfillment in anything else that I've ever encountered that I have now. And I don't know if many of you know here, I was really heavy into gambling. It was kind of really wrecking my life and had a lot to do with my job here, my family. I used to joke about going for, how Cheers has their lunch specials. Well, mine were $40 lunch specials. But anyway, I tried to quit because I knew what it was doing to me. Went into treatment, took leave from here and went into treatment. Didn't gamble for 9 months when I came out. And there were other times that I'd wanted to quit, and I think part of it was insecurity, not feeling I was doing a good job. But Jerry Slater always managed to catch me and talk me out of it. So the last time I decided, I just closed my door, packed my stuff, and walked out. It's been a regret, but since I have found this new life with the Lord, it's not a regret anymore because I have my calling in life. And that's passing the word. So, if I babbled about nothing else that made any sense up here, I just want you guys to know that, whenever things get hard, you think you can't make it, you think you want to quit, just ask the Lord. I have been blessed so much this past year. So much. And I am very proud of the college. I'm glad that I was a student. I'm glad that I'm now a board member. Students have always been my priority for whatever position I had. Because, like Joe says, without students, we don't have anything. So I leave you with that and have a good day and God bless you.
I want to hear from some of our first faculty. And one of our first faculty was a faculty person at Elmo who taught adult education. We had a director of the program here at our reservation. I think he'll be here tonight. But he's the director of the adult education program. He's always trying to find her class. He never could. Yet we keep having these GED graduates and students. And so I'd like to present Cleo Kenmille.
Thank you, Joe. And I did start working for SKC when I was 10 years old. When I first started, it was back in September of '78. I was a part-time GED instructor in the community where I come from, that's Alma. And I myself didn't have a GED or graduate from high school, so I thought, well, what better way to get my own GED? And my friends, a lot of my friends didn't graduate from high school or take the GED, so I thought, well, I'll get us all together. I'll get paid for having a gossip night and a fun night with everybody. So I got a group of people together that needed a GED, and we had a couple of males, but come GED night, they'd run hide from us. We had one that he was about my age, maybe a year or two younger. He hung in there with us because Wayne, get over here. If you all know Wayne Left Hand, this is who I'm talking about. He was hard of hearing. He's been hard of hearing since he was born. We dragged Wayne along, and we pre-tested Wayne, and he tested good. He'd work, he'd take his books home during the week and work on his own and come back and show us. And we're like, good, Wayne, you're doing really good. So we go through the year, and it's May, June. Roy Burton's the tester for the college. He comes up to do the test. Everybody shows up that morning, and Wayne doesn't show up. So I'm like, where the hell is he? So I go out and find him here. He'd been out partying up the night before. He smells a little bit bad. He's still a little bit rummed up. And I go, come on, Wayne, you're going to take this test. He's the only male that stuck with us. And I think there were like 5 or 6 males. Come on, you can come and take it. You can take it. So he comes and he's sitting there. And we kind of set him back of the room. He's really hard of hearing. And Roy would stop us and we'd all, Wayne. Quit writing. Turn the page. And he'd pop up and start asking questions or go off on his own. And Roy's like, did you pre-test him for that? Yeah, he's fine. He's just in his own little world over there. Well, lo and behold, Wayne did pass his GED at that time. That's just a little story I had to share with you about my first days. And Marian's given away our age.
Thanks, Cleo. It just takes special people to go into get a GED program going, in communities like that. And that was the way to do it. That's the way she did it. That's why Lester couldn't find the class. So off to somebody's home someplace, holding the class. Also, back here at the home front at the ranch, we had Pat Hurley as the beginning instructor, from all the way to Texas to try to get people interested in science and stargazing and etc. So I asked Pat to share a story with you.
Well, it's 25 years and 50 pounds ago. But I've gained a lot. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm sitting down now. I appreciate the kind words that Marian had to say, and by the way, I honor your journey also. But I feel a little bit like a fraud because I feel like I'm the one that did all the learning, and I continue to learn. I mean, we talked about lifelong learning. What better place to do it than at SKC? When I first came here, some of the things I learned about was, first of all, do you know that students don't go home at night and immediately start reading their biology textbook? What a shock! Actually, I found out that students are amazing here at SKC. I tried to work on my PhD, so you're not calling me Dr. Hurley. I couldn't imagine how people could handle going to school, working, and raising children at the same time. I tried it, and it's too hard for me, and yet all these students who are doing it are just amazing. I learned a lot about the nature here. I mean, like Joe said, I came from West Texas, and it's not the same in West Texas, the environment. And so I learned about the trees and the plants and stuff like that from my students more than anybody else, because I had foresters and I had ranchers and people like that in my classes, and they taught me a lot. And I learned a lot about just teaching and what teaching's all about from Jerry. And I can't talk about that much more right now. And there's one student in particular, though, that taught me a lot. Maybe some of you remember Joe Phillips from Elmo. He was a pretty wonderful guy. And I can't believe how lucky I was to have him be a friend of mine, or to be one of his friends. He and Pete would take me out driving around, show me different places and stuff like that. And he would talk about when plants bloom and how plants do this and that and the other. It actually got me interested in plants because I came as kind of an animal person. And we used to have, the parking lot used to be over there, and I remember one day we were standing out in the parking lot, and it was fall, and we've been talking about, and he'd been telling me things like, well, the nutcrackers are coming down, and it means it's going to be a cold winter. And he'd say, well, the geese are coming through sooner. Yeah, it's going to be a cold winter. So we're standing out in the parking lot, kind of leaning on my car, smoking a cigarette. He looks down, and I look down too because I want to see what he's looking at. He looks back up and he says, "Yeah, it's going to be a cold winter." Oh, why? Why wouldn't we just put on snow tires too early? I've learned a lot of things from students. In fact, I can apply it. Now I can look around here and say, "Yeah, it's going to be a cold spring." You guys are wearing jackets on May 20th.
Well, as the college struggled and Mike and I had administering a Title III grant at Flathead Valley. I was the administrator, Mike was the field coordinator down here at Flathead, on the Flathead Indian Reservation, offering classes, finding instructors, finding places. We couldn't make that step to get on our own, to work ourselves in Flathead Valley. Well, unbeknownst to us, a couple of writers in our camp were writing grants. One wrote an adult education grant, and another couple of guys wrote a vocational education grant. And it was to the tribe. It was a grant for the tribe to provide vocational education and adult education. One grant was like $160,000, and the other grant was $307,000. And the tribe then turned those grants over to us, at SKC, to administer those grants. So that was really our first time we could offer instruction on it. We were able to offer the instruction, get the money from the grant, pay the instructor, charge tuition for the class, get the money in the general fund. Some of our board members didn't think that was right, but that's the way it works, and that's the way it did work. Anyway, we're fortunate enough today to have one of those grant writers who wrote the grant that really got us off the mark, and that's Bob Peregoy, and that's Bob to share a little bit, not too much, but share some of it. My grant writing experience with Gene and Jerry and Mike and whoever else.
Long road trip.
Thank you, Joe, and good morning, everybody. I just want to say that I feel very blessed and privileged and honored to have been part of the Salish Kootenai College family for the last 25 or 26 years. It's been the greatest feeling and involvement, family and tribal-wise, that I've ever been blessed to have, and I just feel very close to everybody, and particularly Jerry. As Joe was saying, it was Jerry and me that wrote the first OED grant for the college, and I know we all miss Jerry dearly. I do. He was my best friend. He was a mentor. He was a friend. He was a brother. In many ways, he was a father figure to me. And we had a lot of good times together, and we had a lot of productive times together. And I know that Jerry is with me every day. I know he's here at the college with all of us every day. That it's only his body that has left us. His spirit is here to guide us. You can just remember all the one-liners. Pat. You learn to teaching from Jerry. We all learned many things from him. He was such a magnanimous individual. And I know for me, and I run into a situation in which I do every day, at least once or twice, and I sit back and I look at Jerry's picture in my office with my watercolor of 3 wolves up there that I got, and just say, well, Jerry, what do I do here? Or I ask myself, Jerry, how would you handle this? And it's very helpful to me, As many people may know, sometimes I don't listen to him, what he says to me, and I get myself in trouble, but nevertheless, I know he's here to guide me whether I take that guidance or not. And it was back in February of '78 that Jerry and I got together to write the first OED grant, and as one of our founders and brothers and colleagues, Gene Sorrell, has said here, it was Jerry and Gene and I, we used to run together in those days. And we had, as Gene said, our vision of a college campus. And actually, I was over at Montana State University at Bozeman, and I had the good fortune of being the founding director of the Center for Native American Studies there. I was there from '74 to '81. During the early stages of the college, the pre-stages, I was a member of the Tribal Education Committee. I'm not enrolled. I'm a first-generation descendant, but back in those days, the council would see fit to
appoint, descendants sometimes to the committee, and so I was able to participate that way. But then somehow Jerry and Gene and I got to running together, and we did have these visions, about what we could do with this college. But what Gene forgot to say was there was a fourth one that was running with us. Gene didn't mention it. His name was John Barleycorn. So early in the evenings, before John Barleycorn took over, we had some pretty good talks and visions and discussions. But we got pretty bad. One time, this was after Jerry and I had written the VOED grant, and we had gone down. I flew over from Bozeman. I was supposed to be here on a Friday night, but I missed my plane, and I won't go into that. I've already talked with Joe this morning about that, and he asked that I not tell about that part of the story. But in any event, we were down at the Tuego River School, and Jerry was the principal there. He has that coup on his belt too, as the founding director and principal there. The old agency down at Dixon, we sat there in his office, and he and I did the writing, and Joyce Silverthorne was a teacher there at that time, and she sat on the floor in his office, and we didn't even have selectric typewriters, and she just banged that grant out, and we didn't finish it on that weekend, so I took it back to Bozeman and finished it and sent it back, and Barrett had signed off on it. He was chairman then, and then about 6 weeks later, Jerry called me up over in Bozeman and said, "Partner, guess what? We got funded, man. $363,000 for the first year at our VOED grant." And I just looked at it the other day because I was teaching a graduate class at Bozeman. I think Tracy took it. It was a proposal writing, program development, evaluation, and I had our VOED grant on reserve as an example of what the students were supposed to produce. But in any event, I looked back on that the other day because I wanted to give it to Dana as one of our artifacts through that grant. I still actually have it. And I looked up the salary for the director who first was John Curry for a short period of time, then Joe, and then Jerry for many years. And now it seems like I've come full circle after being at Bozeman and practicing law for 17 years. Now I am privileged to serve as our VOED director, but in any event, it was a real celebratory moment. And it was such a celebratory moment that Gene, Sorrell, and Jerry and I found it appropriate to celebrate that for about 3 years. And, John Barleycorn, he kind of got a hold of us a bit and took us down to Ronan Sporting Goods one day, and they had these round felt cowboy hats on sale for $5 a piece. So we each had to buy one, and we took them out and took them over to Jerry's and poured water in them and punched out the folds and everything and made 3 reservation hats out of it. And the trap line all the way down there, we went for a couple of years wearing these reservation hats, sitting up at the bar thinking we were just really cute, and not realizing that what you had there was Curly, Larry, and Moe with John Barleycorn calling the shots. Well, thank God and the Creator that we all straightened up. The 3 of us straightened up out of that. But it was fine moments that are precious that we'll never forget. That come together to produce what we've had here today. And Joe and Jerry, Mike McDonald in particular, the ones that really did the groundwork, the drudge work, but with the support of the tribal people and the council and the membership. I think that we all have a part ownership, a big part ownership in what we have here today. As far as the federal VOED grant goes, as I mentioned, 1978-79 was our first year to have that, and we've had it every year for consecutively since then for 25 years. No other tribal organization or tribal college has had a VOED program for that duration, and also each year of those 25 years we have been by far funded at the highest amount. And that is not simply because of the proposal writing. What it all comes down to are the students and the staff and the faculty that came together over the years for different components of the teaching and instructing, and in particular, another one is the Career Center. The Career Center has been funded through the federal Beloit grant for years on Lois. And of course, then Lois, picked up and graduated here, got her bachelor's from university, her master's from Gonzaga, and has administered that program over there to a model program that really picks up with and works with our students, and then helps get them out of here and placed and whatnot. So the success of the program is due to the students and the faculty and the staff and the hard work. And every year, or 2 or 3 years, when I would come back to rewrite it, then for example, Nancy Nelson knows that Jerry would gather all the department heads and sit down with them for meetings and get the input from them and take and put it together. So even though Jerry and I were the writers, the real meat of it, and I know if Jerry was here, he would say the same thing. The real credit goes to the faculty and staff and students that have run the program. So basically, I'm just real pleased to have done that. And then the other thing I was pleased to have been able to do is during law school in 1983 was write the college's first student special services grant that we have today that Mike McDonald has picked up on. So Joe made me keep these remarks short, so I just want to close by saying that I'm very truly humbled to be working at the college here, and I get up every morning and I thank the Creator for my life, and in particular, Marian, me too. This last year I had this hip surgery, and then I had a scrape with death in my car accident a month later, and I too, feel reborn and re-energized and re-enthused through just being able to be here every morning, and as Jerry would say, be damn glad I have a job at Salish Kootenai College. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. I see the machine, the musicians are getting ready. I would open up for a little bit if somebody has anything burning that they'd like to say here in closing. Juan has asked me to announce that there is cake in there, a piece of cake, a cup of coffee.
Peace. Wow. I thought you were still following me, Rod.
There's only one pie for all these people? A drum roll.
Just let them know where I want to sit or stand. Have a seat.
Kind of waiting for the bullet, huh?
Yeah. You want a black roll?
Yeah, making a long drum roll.
I think it's going to be you, John. You want a black roll? Okay. Have a seat.
And how far did he have to roll the drum? He's not really sure about how to
I
do
need a
it.
hair dryer after this.
John Debocevich earned the most money.
Yeah.
Mary Digbo was next. Carol Baldwin in third place. Frank White in fourth. And Debbie Corville in fifth. Okay, have a seat, people. Turn around. And just because you were all so appreciative, and we hate to pick a winner, we think you're all winners.
Yes.
Go, guys.
Drum roll. There's the cleanup dog on standby. And when they get done, we take them to the cleaners.
That's good.
Give them a round of applause. Oh my God! Oh yeah.
That's always bad when you run toward the base.
Not toward the best, Sam. Go that way.
Okay, thank you guys for joining.
Where's the dunking tank at?
You didn't have it.
All right, here's the Steve Warner song here for you. Here's the bathtub for y'all.
I was worried about rain. Heck, that's nothing.
I woke up screaming this morning. I said, both right up to bed. I saw a red sky dawning. Must have been something I prayed. Linda, do you want to dance? Linda, give me half a chance. Linda, get the passion back to me, fall in love. I don't see no ship going under. Don't hear no pouring rain. Don't hear no lightning and thunder. This here sounds of your name. Linda, do you want to dance? Linda, give me half a chance. Linda, get the patsy back to me, fall in love.